Why in the world is AmberLynn gaining weight? Well, that's always the pivotal question, isn't it? A special thank you to my patrons, Acrophobe Christina, Courtney EP, Wild Rose, J.M. Beans, Jay Thomas, Lauren Chris, Michael B. Petty, That British Unicorn, Sky Anthropolis, Xanthal, Debbie Elliott, D. Higgins, Julia Q, and Kate O. Alright, Amber posted exactly one video this entire week. I'm sure that by the time I post this, which looking at my schedule right now, she'll have posted another video probably tomorrow, so like Friday or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. But right now there's only the one video, and it is a pretty interesting video. For all that Amber's content I find a little bit more boring than Chantel's. And this video is very telling of her, not just her thought process, but also what Chantel's thought process can be when she thinks. Like, they're very different pictures, but it's a similar parallel kind of thinking, right? They both have this vision of what health actually is. They both have this idea of what quote unquote healthy people eat. And neither one of them are very good at actually knowing what they should be eating, which understandable, right? Neither one of them are professionals, but this is why you should talk to a professional. And for people who claim to know so much about nutrition, this is sad, honestly. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, so welcome to a new video.
To start this video off, she looks amazing. She looks fantastic in this. I love the slick straight hair. I love the shirt she's got on. The earrings work with the whole thing. She's got that bright lip. Everything about this look is perfection, other than the fact that she doesn't have eyebrows. I really wish she would do her eyebrows a little bit more because they will give her more structure to her face. She looks really good here. I love the whole look. I wish she would do more versions of this. So like a brighter lip, you know, like a different colored bright, but like glossy lip, and like doing her hair like this. She looks great. I love it.
Today's video is going to be me sharing what I ate a few days ago, where I woke up positive, determined, ready to be on track, and I started the day really good and I felt good, and then somewhere in the middle of the day it all came tumbling down. I am going to be sharing calories and everything, and at the end of this I'm going to share, because I have my laptop right here, and I pay for premium on my FitnessPal for when I count calories. It shows the totals of everything.
Is this necessary? I have never used the paid version, the pro version of my FitnessPal. That is what I also use to track my calories. I also use Chronometer every once in a while because it gives me a more comprehensive breakdown of like my micronutrient profile to see if I'm missing anything. I have a habit of becoming really focused on a few foods, and then I tend to become deficient in that. And I do have problems with like chronic deficiencies. Vitamin D is a really big one, which is why I tend to pay very close attention to my nutritional profile. Not like every day or every week even, but just like once every couple of months, I'll like put in a few days of consecutively of what I'm eating just to see how I'm doing. And if I'm fine, I'm fine. Anyway, I've never used the paid version of any one of these, and I've never felt the need to. So if you have, could you tell me if there's like a huge difference? I can't take Amber's word for it because Amber has a habit of throwing money at anything that she thinks will give her a chance of working rather than changing things about her own lifestyle. So, you know, she's still paying for, I think, Noom and for Jenny Craig and all these other ridiculous things that she does not need to be paying for, but she thinks that they will help her, so she signs up for them. She pays all the money into them because she thinks the money is going to be a substitute for effort on her part. It's, of course, ridiculous. So I can't take her word for whether or not pro is worth it. And I've never met anyone in like IRL who's actually used the pro version of it. So
for meal one, I had a Premier protein shake and cookies and cream. It was 160 calories. I'm referencing on my FitnessPal on my laptop if you guys see me look over here. It was the first time I ever had the cookies and cream flavor of the Premier protein, and I want to say I have tried chocolate and vanilla as well. And out of the three, the vanilla is disgusting. Premier protein, cookies and cream is the way to grow. It's the way to go. So I definitely recommend it.
she is getting into what she eats for this entire day. And the first thing that she has is a Premier protein shake in the cookies and cream flavor. She talks about the Premier protein shake a little bit, and she says, you know, she likes this flavor better than this flavor. I've never had any one of these. I don't tend to like a lot of protein shakes, to be very honest with you. They have a weird gritty texture to them. I will add protein to my smoothies if I'm making them, but I tend to do that via like very low fat Greek yogurt, right? I do use protein powders occasionally. I'll use the pea protein powder, which I do not recommend because it's gross, but I bought it and I paid money for it. I'm going to use it up. After that, I might try whey protein, but I've genuinely never liked them. I don't really even like protein bars. It's a weird textural thing that they have. Anyway, she has this Premier protein shake. It is 160 calories. Now, you guys should know, Amber is almost 550 pounds. 160 calories is not a lot of calories for her, right? A normal person could have something like this and then be like satiated throughout the rest of breakfast. But for someone who is her size, she needs to eat more. The idea is that you eat just couple of 100 calories less than what your maintenance would be, and you do that for a very long period of time. Cutting out a drastic amount of food all at once is going to be very difficult the heavier you are. You don't want to go from eating like 5,000 calories a day to eating like 1,200 calories a day. Your body is not going to know what to do. It's going to give you the strongest cravings. But say if you're eating 5,000 calories a day, if you eat 4,400, maybe something like that, just cut, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what her maintenance calories are, but she could eat just a little bit under that, and that would make it much more satiating, much easier for her. And then once she's lost weight, and then once again, she's nearing maintenance, like say she's eating 200 calories less than what she needs to maintain. Once her weight gets to the point where that becomes her maintenance, you drop it down by another 200 and another 200 until you're eating between that 1,500 to 2,000 calorie mark that women have, right? And you are at a healthy, stable goal weight. That's how you should do it. Severely cutting out calories generally doesn't work out well for people, especially people who have binge eating problems like Amber does. So this is not a great idea. Other than that, it's also not very complete. It doesn't have any carbohydrates and it doesn't have any, fruits and vegetables. There's not really even all that much protein in this thing. And even with, a fiber in this thing, it's going to run right through her. She needs to have a balanced meal here. And a really good way to make this more balanced would have been to add an apple and some peanut butter. And the peanut butter would have given her some fat. It would have given her a little bit of extra protein and fiber and all that. And the apple would have given her some carb and some extra fiber. And it would have been a much more satiating, balanced meal. And all of it is easy because she doesn't have to prep anything. It's literally just chop up an apple and get a tablespoon or two of peanut butter out, right? Very easy. I would go with an unsweetened peanut butter, but you can go with the sweetened peanut butter if you want. Much more satiating, much more complete.
So for meal number 2, I made a veggie stir fry. So I had baby carrots that were 35 calories that I cut up myself. I had broccoli, which was 60 calories, some baby sweet corn, which came out to 60 calories. The water chestnuts came out to 100. And then I used 6 tablespoons of General Tso sauce, which was 198 calories. So for this meal, it was 453. And honestly, it was super, super delicious. 10 out of 10 recommend. I thoroughly loved it and it filled me up like a lot.
See, and this is the issue. She's created this meal that she thinks what skinny people eat. And essentially, it's just a bunch of slightly sauteed vegetables with some sauce on them. That sauce is probably going to be mostly like soy sauce and like sugar, right, to give it sweetness. And I'm sure it's delicious. Perfectly fine to use it. Even in the amount that you use it, it's good. But this has nothing else. It's got some fiber coming from the vegetables. It's got micronutrients, I'm sure, but there's nothing satiating in it, right? And satiation's a really big key. You also want different textures for satiation. You want to make this meal much more adequate, much more satiating for anyone. Add half a cup or a cup of brown rice to this, right? That will increase the satiation factor by a lot. And there's some evidence suggesting that if you cook like rice and you keep it in the fridge, like you cook rice with boil it, with a little bit of oil, and you keep it in the fridge overnight and then you reheat it, that fundamentally changes the structure of the rice and actually reduces the caloric output of it by up to 60%. The science on that is still a little inconclusive, but there is evidence to say that. Either way, brown rice would have had significantly more amounts of fiber in it, and it would have given her a lot more of that like rich carb that she also needs, that her body is asking for because she's used to giving it a lot of carbs, right? And it will keep her much more satiated. Rice is a very satiating food. Another thing that she could have added to this would have been some protein. So toss in a little bit of cubed tofu in there, toss in a little bit of chicken in there, crack a couple of eggs in there, anything for some protein. Protein, I think out of the 3 macronutrients, so that's fat, carb, and oil, protein tends to be fat, carb, and oil. I can't even talk anymore. Carb, fat, and protein. Protein tends to be the most satiating of the 3 macronutrients. So that's why people, when they are trying to lose weight, tend to up the protein a lot and the veggie content, right? Like the protein really, really does help you in feeling full and feeling like you've got like enough in your stomach, and it takes a pretty long time to digest as well. So I think if she'd added like maybe 4 ounces of like chicken breast to this, 4 ounces of tofu to this, you know, anything just to give it a little bit of a boost, that would have made this a much more complete meal, and she would have been much happier with it. Another thing to add to this would have been whole peanuts or slivered almonds. They are great in a stir fry. They give it a little bit of like crunch too, and it would have given her some healthy fat as well, you know. Just make every meal you can as complete in terms of macronutrients as you can, and try and have half your plate be vegetables. So she's got the vegetables, but without anything else in it, it's gonna go right through her.
I'm not making excuses whatsoever. It's just how it is for me, unfortunately. So here we have a box of wheat thins, and we have this garlic and herb soft spreadable cheese, which is super amazing. So they were both unopened, and by the time I was done, I ate the whole bag of wheat thins, which is 128 pieces according to their nutritional thing on the back of it. And I ate all of the garlic and herb cheese, which is so good, which supposedly is 18 tablespoons. So for the wheat thins, it was 1,120 calories, and for the spreadable cheese was 600 calories, which came out to 1,720.
This is what happens when you over restrict. Her last meal lacked in fat, it lacked in carbs, and it lacked in protein. The cheese has fat and protein, and the wheat thins have carbs. This is essentially everything that she was trying to deprive herself of in that meal beforehand. And now her body is just like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And it gives you cravings very strong. And if you're not used to fighting them, you're going to give in, right? And that's not to say that you should be fighting all of your cravings. She is way severely under eating her calories. Even for me, I would eat more calories than she's eating. I just mean that she should be eating slightly more like complete meals. She should be trying to make her meals like more satiating for her and large enough for her. She could eat 1,000 calories for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and have like a 300 calorie snacks, and she'd probably still lose weight, right? So I don't know why she chose to go down this route, because obviously, if you over restrict, this is what's going to happen. Everybody knows this. And I don't believe for a second that she's talked to healthcare professionals before, especially like people who are in the dieting realm, right? Like dietitians, like doctors advising her on weight loss. Then they're going to tell her, yeah, severely restrict your calories. That's what's going to be best for you. For someone who claims to know so much about nutrition, like this is amateur hour here.
So I had 2 packs of these salami snack packs. I like to have them as a snack, but unfortunately, sometimes they are a trigger for me. For 1 pack is 150 calories, and since I had 2 packs, it was 300. As you can tell, I don't know if you guys can tell, like, I don't know if it's visible, but I'm feeling kind of anxious sharing all this. I thought to myself, I need something sweet. So I had chocolate covered peanuts. It was 400 calories worth. So in this picture, this is all that was left. So this is exactly how much I ate of it. And I didn't stop there. A few hours later, I had couscous in roasted garlic olive oil, and I had the whole boxed myself, and you can see in this bowl, this is how much it was. It doesn't look like a lot, but it was a whole box, and that came out to 810 calories. So I had about 4 tablespoons of this Jif creamy peanut butter, and that came out to 380 calories.
Once more, salami. She's eating, that's got fat in it. That's got, she's got the carbs. All the things that she wouldn't let herself eat before. These meals, like these snacks, have all of those things in them, right? The peanut butter, I recommended that for the morning, but here she is eating peanut butter. There's a reason why she's eating these things. If she was, I don't think this is a binge. That's the thing. I don't think this is a binge. This is overeating as a result of her over restricting. Binge for Amber has been a lot of like chips and instant noodles and candy and junk. This is not that. She's not doing that. She is just simply overeating on foods that otherwise would have been fine. Everything she's eaten here is pretty much fine in moderation. And I know you guys will say like even junk and candy is all fine, but what I mean is that these are actual foods that a healthy person on a healthy diet, not eating like candy, pure processed sugar, could eat. She could even eat these as a snack every day, but she over-restricted and now her body can't take it anymore. And so she's just eating everything.
Yeah. So that's everything I ate, and that's the reason why I'm gaining weight, because I start every day, majority of every day, on track, and then something just shifts inside of me, and it's like I'm no longer who I was when I first woke up, and it's so confusing to me. So in total, I ate 4,223 calories. I had 472 carbs, 206 fat, 137 protein. The sodium and the sugar is like what really triggers me. I had 8,017 milligrams of sodium, and I had 144 grams of sugar. I thoroughly believe that my weight is just a symptom of something else.
She's right. This is the fundamental point I make in every single one of my videos about Amber. Her weight is a symptom of a deeper problem. Amber has issues. She has had severe trauma in her life. She needs to deal with the trauma before she can actually move forward, because no plan is going to work for her until she has addressed the reason why she overeats, the reason why she uses food as a comfort. And she needs to find techniques that are comforting to her that are not food. Until she does that, she's never going to be successful in anything. Every human being needs comfort. Every human being needs like reassurance. And unfortunately for Amber, for her, that's food. She needs to figure something else out, because what she's doing right now is clearly not working. That will be it from me. Sorry, this is a pretty short video, and it's still probably going to be late because I suck at organization and my life is just a little bit busy right now. Sorry, guys. I'm trying my best here, though. Anyway, hope this was entertaining. This video didn't make me happy to see. This is sad, right? It's sad that she's struggling this much. It's sad that after so many years of trying, she still clearly doesn't know how she should be eating and what's good for her body. I really wish she would consult an actual licensed dietitian. I really wish she would listen to them. I really wish she would see a doctor and a therapist. I really wish she would see a therapist. But at the end of the day, I have no control over any of that, and I'm just a lady screaming at a phone in her bedroom. So it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, you give me a thumbs down. That's totally okay. I respect everybody's opinions here. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell down below and hit all if you want to know when I upload any video right away. I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Instagram, where I've got all my food stuff and my life stuff, and I've got more stuff on there soon. And I've got Twitter, where I'm a little bit toxic and a little bit petty, but I'm also kind of entertaining, and it's the easiest to interact with me on that platform. And last but not least, I've got Patreon. Think of Patreon as the tip jar for the internet. So if you like the job that I'm doing here and you would like me to continue, hey, consider tossing a few coins in my direction. You don't have to. It's not necessary. But I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace.